Welcome back to Let's Play Deathmark, for what will likely be the final part of this Let's Play. If not that, it'll be the next final part of this Let's Play. We've already got the final conversation with Red's right moves left to go. So has it been? Well, obviously it has been, but I always feel like checking. Yep, 8 days into first session. We already recorded the After LP talk in advance. Because, the pain in the ass. Because, the record session currently kind of goes, I record for Deathmark. Today is I'm recording. And the next day be Room Factory Ocean, so I'll be uploading the last part of Room Factory Oceans I've got recorded in advance later today. So, it kind of goes in that order. I tend to, try to keep it the same time, keep it consistent. Certainly not time of day, though. That shows I recorded in the afternoon. I'm recording in the morning today. So, I've already forgot. Upgrade wife. Picture of marriage wife. Hold my hands with Charlie. I just looked over the previous part just to confirm what the number was. So it went down the path, met the guy, and fell in love and all that. So got married, had a kid, and then grew old. So that was fourth floor, first, second, 5. Yeah, that should be the code. So it's 4, 1, I think, 2, 5, 3. What am I doing wrong? Was 4th floor, right? 4. Maybe it was 421. Yeah, it was. I just got the last 2 mixed up. You didn't see the previous part. The solution to that puzzle is basically like I said. You look at those portraits, and you look at what floor you find the portrait on, and then you gotta line it up in order of events. So, like the very first event, because it's telling the story through the portraits. First one was on the first one chronologically. It was on the 4th floor, then 2nd floor, 1st floor, 5th floor, 3rd floor, and that's the code. The elevator door opens, and a musty stench greets me. But that's not all. The smell is blood. Red Riding Hood's voice drifts on the wind. I've been waiting for you. No, I doubt my words will reach her, but I feel like I have to at least say it. I'm not the one you respect. I'm not the one you're waiting for. You know what? It's weird. I can voice Yashiki like I usually do when I'm, playing the game, but as I was voicing him for the After Album talk, which I recorded in advance, it felt quieter than they usually would be. I don't know why. But yeah, I record that in advance because it'd be a pain in the ass to put it all together in one day. I wrote the script, waited a day or 2, then go around to recording the audio for it, and then a day or 2 later, put it all together in the files. What are you waiting for? Whatever. Probably meant that. Liar. You always lie. I'm not lying. I'm really not. A scream splits the night. It's the same one I heard during the spider torture. Stop! Stop this! This won't accomplish anything. That's why, this time, I'm going to test you. You've been testing me the full time. Tell me the truth. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of trippy with the eyes. It's like, oh, my eyes, my glasses included. I mean, they could be all over the cool, I guess, but still. You know, I recorded for Project Zero, Made in the Black Water the other day. That's a new Let's Play for our main channel, which is made it so I'm uploading every day. So once this LP is approved here, then I can finally have another day off in between that, you know, for a while. I'm not sure what I'll Let's Play next, but I think I'll wait until like late October or early November to decide what to Let's Play next time. But anyways, in that part I'd mentioned a giant spider I found in my room. It was bloody huge! You know, like curtains, you know that hoop that you slide the curtains on? You know, the general size of that kind of hoop. You can slide it onto the ring. Well, it's about the size of one of those. It's like, Jesus Christ, I'll show a picture of it here. Yeah, why not? Showed it in the Project Zero part, so, you know, it feels more relevant here since it's spider here. Anyways, so, yeah, big ass spider. That thing was freaking huge. It's like I saw it out of the corner of my eye. It was like the room, the only light on was my lamp, and it's like kind of dim lighting, and I just see this massive shadowy thing slightly moving. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I look carefully, like, holy shit, that's one big ass spider. Anyways, live or die. Got the spiders fly out of the darkness and start crawling all over my body. You know, size-wise, you can compare it to the spider's nuts we saw on Diamond's shoulder in that one CG. It's about maybe half the size of that. It was pretty big. It's like if you had it on your hands, it would probably take up the entire palm almost. It was freaking ginormous. The spiders fly out of the darkness and start crawling all over my body. Yeah. Well, the spiders keep coming. Well, let's get a game over before we go through this properly. It's like all these items we find are just a trap, more or less, because they just get you killed. Shit! I hastily pull out the insecticide and pour it over my exposed skin. Yeah, this actually kind of makes sense, but the spiders don't even react. Spiders are not insects, technically. Wrong. Sharp pain runs through my neck. Ugh. No special CG or anything, you just die. Heart struggles valiantly to keep beating. Yeah. An endless darkness envelops me. Lame. Game over. We gotta get the bad end first, which is easy to get, because once you get past the first two parts of the live or die scenario, you're basically like, it's very easy to get the bad end past that point. You gotta pick really specific choices. We'll see. You know, we don't really see much of her body, really, do we? So, I mean, it's freaky looking, but it's not like scary. I mean, it is a bit freaky, but still. Yep, I was thinking maybe last night while I was trying to get asleep. I was thinking, Disney keeps remaking their old films but making live action. Can you imagine the horror show if they were to remake A Bug's Life and make it realistic? I mean, that'd be just like, is it freaking like that one spider character would look a bit creepier, wouldn't it? And I wonder how they would go about that. Actually, it's like we want realistic looking bugs and stuff, so all the answers more or less look the same. So it's like, how can you make any character stand out if they just look like regular old ants? It's time to live or die. Well, that old massager is going to come back into play. Says, who'd have thought this would be like such a useful item in this chapter? Shit. I take the massager out of my bag, hold it against my body, and hit the switch. Strip the wall. You'd think maybe that would be like, oh, it worked before, so it's a trap, so it doesn't work. No, it works. Spider starts acting strangely. They all scramble away. See. Red Riding Hood licks out the gusty style. Glittering white threads fly through the air from her mouth. She's trying to use her spider silk. Yeah, what happens if we die at this point? Wave my jack around, scatter some bath salts. You see that wooden head thing? That's the correct choice. If you remember the spider legend of Yashiki was explaining, we use a tree stump. So we gotta substitute that with a wooden horse head. When we take it to bath salt, we scatter it around. It's a kind of salt that's supposed to purify mental spirits. But the silky threads mercifully wrap around my body. Wrong. Oh. I'm suddenly unable to breathe. My vision slowly fades. Well, at least there's a little difference. No CG or anything, obviously. Live or die. Well, this time we choose live. These sounds, man. I held the horse head over mine as protection. Strangely enough, the thread seemed drawn to it and only wrapped around the horse head. See? Now I move on to phase 2. Sir, Sensei, who's in the wrong? You did what was right. This is like a continuation of sorts. Yellow live or die scenarios where she asks us questions and we gotta choose the correct ones. It's gonna ask us, I think, 4 questions, and the correct answers go 1, 1, 3, 1. Option minus. Keeping that in mind for when we go through. Yeah, good. Although maybe it'll end up being wrong. I think I remember when back when I originally played this, I used a walkthrough and got it wrong, even though I think I might have been on a different side. So I gotta pick the wrong choices here. So let's kind of vary it up. Divine punishment will come. Doesn't matter what choice you make as long as it's at least one question that isn't stupid. Because we can't actually die this time. It just leaves the bad ends. Red Riding Hood was staring at me. Sir, come with me. The only thing that matters is your life. Everyone has a family. Shut up, shut up, shut up! Red Riding Hood screams again. Then her maddening eyes glare at me. That is pretty creepy now. It's the way it's just gonna put it. Sir, how do I look to you? Pretty terrifying. You're like a little sister to me, like a sister that turned into a spider. That's right. It's a bit confusing because you'll know if you're getting the right options, I think, depending on how she reacts to it. What thing. But she screamed, you know, like, shut up, shut up. I think she might word it differently. She definitely words something differently if you get all the questions right. What do you like about me? Oh, righteousness. That's right. I'm not sure if... Wait, what? Wrong? Yeah. This can't lead to a game over. This must lead to the bad end, surely. Suddenly unable to breathe. Or maybe that's just the indicator that we're on the bad end route. My vision slowly fades. Or maybe we did get a game over. Okay. Okay. Didn't think you could get a game over during that. So maybe we have to at least pick one question right, I guess. To actually get the first two questions right and then deviate afterwards. Yeah, so we have to go through this again. I'd rather play in the sequel and re-going through these battles. It's so tedious. Question number 1. That's for the law to decide. Oh wait, what did you say? Hee 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 hee. How do you know a person's life? Okay, she said shut up. Okay, let's pick the wrong choice here. How do you look? I'll look over the same one. That's right. Now you will get the bad end. Oh, righteousness. That's right. Righteousness. That is odd. We got safe for that. I guess we really do have to at least pick one or two, probably 3 options that are correct to survive. Yeah, she says something different to get it right here. Red Riding Hood's figure wavers, then smashes through the window and off into the night. That? she just jump? The bustling city can be heard out the window. I wipe my sweaty brow with my shirt sleeve. Something touches my cheek. Something is floating in the darkness. A thread. As I follow it with my eyes, I realize that it's wrapped around my wrist. Whoa! Something yanks me towards the window. Raise my legs and try to resist. But all in vain. I'm thrown out into the night sky. I scream as I plummet. No, I should be rushing towards the ground. Just as I give up all hope. A strong jolt makes me look up. A man struggles to hold onto my arm, his teeth gritting with effort. But Master! Shut up and give me your other arm. Hurry up, grab onto me. Right. He desperately tries to pull me up, and after what feels like an eternity of struggle, I make it over the ledge and tumble safely back inside the hotel. The only sound that can be heard is our gasp for breath as we sit in the darkness. Why did you ignore my orders? Master spits words out between wheezes. Sorry. This isn't the time to be making excuses. You might be better off shutting down. Idiots. Try putting yourself in my shoes. Is she gone? Convinced her. The window. I'm still trembling as I point to the broken window. She threw herself out of it. She might have been trying to take me with her. No, not me. That's served. I never really got her real name, did we? We just know that it's S something Co. Maybe Seiko? I don't know. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Can you walk? Then let's go. Ashton slowly stands and looks at me. Nicely done. That wasn't bad work for an amateur like you. Although you nearly died, if Master wasn't there, we would have died. You know what? It's not confirmed really, but it definitely seems like it's implied that that body we found was probably... well, I'll wait till a little bit further. It stopped raining. The cool wind on my cheek hints at autumn. I'm going to drop by and see Dad. I'd like to see how the others are. Yeah. What? Hand me the car. No, I can drive. Have you completely gotten mad? Look at your hands. I glanced down at them, only to suddenly realize they're still shaking. You just face down a spirit. You can't drive with that condition. The choice made for me, I take the key out of my pocket and toss it to Master. The corner parking lot. Right. You rest here. His figure melts into the darkness. As I watch him go, I notice something down on the wet asphalt. It's... dead spider. It lay there, legs all curled up, almost as if it was desperately trying to hold on to something. The voice actor's a bit quiet there. I gently picked the spider up, wrapped it up in my handkerchief and put it in my pockets. Okay. Again, it's kind of, you know, that spider wasn't just any old regular spider. Still, picking up a spider and putting it in your pockets. Right back is a blur. I sat and let Master's voice wash over me like background radio noise. remember wondering if Red Riding Hood might have stolen a part of my soul. For the investigation today, Moe tipped us off about testimony. That helped me connect the dots. I realized the teacher was wrapped up in this. A teacher from a school near the hotel was arrested for breaking the law. What does that have to do with anything? There was an odd part in Aiko's testimony. It was scared to be reported, and nothing ever happened. In other words, Esko never went to the police after her tattling to the teacher. Or maybe more. She couldn't do it. I frowned as I tried to put the pieces together, and I think I'm too spaced out as it's not making sense. You'd never make it as a detective. Can't he just drop that? I don't plan on becoming one anyway. Well, you will become a paranormal investigator, because, I mean, you've kind of already been wrapped up in all that. There's only one possible answer. This person Esko trusted so deeply with one of Masquerade's customers. Oh. I feel like I've been hit up the side of the head and not with a pillow, more like a lead pipe. Yeah, I imagine this teacher was probably the guy we hear in that flashback. The one she sought salvation from ended up being a criminal. Definition of irony. Ashla glances out the window and chuckles dryly. The bitter sound fits both our moods. It's the teacher, and Laura, the one mentioned in Aiko's testimony. Nakamura, would it be then? And maybe Ako would be Aiko, right? I saw a photo. He was fit, tall. It's like popular suits. Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe he was the dead body, but you know, they did say that he seemed kind of small, so it can't be the teacher. It would have made sense if it was the teacher, you know, but at the same time it wouldn't, because then if the teacher was the one killed, then, you know, why would she be thinking that the teacher's still alive? That is assuming that body was killed by Red Riding Hoods. Well, I suppose. He glances back at me through the mirror. You might say he wasn't too unlike him. So I guess he must have looked similar to Yashiki. Ashla suddenly tosses the file at me. Those are the research results. Look them over if you want to know. Results. I flipped through the thick bundle of paper. They're a set of very well organized documents. It would have taken a lot of time to gather some information. Then it hits me. Wait a second. Ashla just said that he connected the dots with the help of Moe's testimony. Which means he knew all of this before we started our investigation. You knew everything. I just said I'd put it all together when I heard the testimony. Then I decided not to tell you just in case. Why? If I had known I could have, what would you have done? His tone turns mocking as he laughs. You would have just sympathized too much and let down your guard. You should be grateful, I suppose. Well, he did kind of let his guard down anyway, really. Ashla leaves me with the research file and heads to Diamond Hospital. Now that I'm alone, I can't keep my free hospital friends out of my mind. But there's nothing I can do for them right now. I've done everything I can. Lost myself with that information. Spread Master's documents out on the table. I'm exhausted, but I feel like I need to go through them today. Who in the world was Red Riding Hood? If Master was right, the truth should be right in front of me. New info was added. I guess it's so that you can look at them one last time, you know, before the ending plays out. God damn it, does this all the time. Okay, break blah 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 blah. Complete puzzle and understanding. Ash's report. Faced Red Riding Hood on the 6th floor where she had waited for me. I managed to drive her back, but she nearly takes me with her. Neil Master saves me at the last second. He's furious with me for disobeying his orders. I've given his research file on the hotel. This is what it says. Esko tattling to her homeroom teacher and Mura about the job is what started it all. Enmura proposed to Esco that they gather evidence first. They arranged to meet at masquerade that night. The only thing waiting for Esco there was utter betrayal by the teacher she was in love with. Turned out that Enmura himself was one of Masquerade's customers. No one knows what exactly happened to Esco. She was found wandering the streets in her red raincoat and immediately admitted to her facility. Fortunately, her mental state was too far gone already, and she committed suicide to throw herself from the 6th floor window of the hospital. The night she died was cold and rainy, just like today. The reporter has info on Enmore as well. When he was arrested for all her illegal activities, he ended up testifying about Masquerade as well. Having your partner wear all red was code that you were planning to use to do a suite of their hotel. That could be the reason Esco wore that red raincoat that night. Not long after the trial, Enmore apparently hung himself in jail. Yeah. It's just like, oh, there just happened to be a lot of cobwebs there. But spiders, yeah. They had nothing to do with it. I just wonder who that person was that we found. So we know it can't have been Esco because she killed herself at a hospital. And can't be the teacher because he died in a jail cell. So who's the dead body then? Find that interesting. Like, look at these. 21, 20, 20, 24, 20. This one only gets 15 pages. We never get to know her actual name. I assume it might be something like Seiko or something. I don't know. Chapter 6 led me head right into the end. And so the case surrounding Masquerade finally comes to a close, leaving an invisible scar on a dark street. The lives lost there will never return, neither will their trampled dignity. I lost something as well. Hiro, Banshee, and Show's conditions worsened after that. They were immediately transferred to a larger hospital. Because of that, they narrowly escaped death, but their psyches will remain forever damaged. From the time on, the chances of them ever recovering are very few. To have this happen to people who were only trying to lend me a hand. Maybe it would have been better if I just died from the fallout of Masquerade's window. Struggle to get through each and every day. If this is Red Riding Hood's revenge, then I can admit that it's effective. Not really much of a, I mean, it is a bad end. But you'd expect it to be a bit more detailed than that, but no. In the other ones, we actually, we don't get like a CG for the characters getting killed off, but there's a bit more, in your face than that. I mean, they didn't die, but still, a week later. Master suddenly shows up on my doorstep. Before I even open my mouth, he pulls out an envelope and tosses it on the table. Here to deliver this, it's your reward. What a joke. Rewarded for letting that happen to my friends. How should I know? The client asked me to do this, that's all. I did my job and handed it over. The rest is in your hands. Damn, what a pain. Ashton turns and curses under his breath, but I can still hear everything he says. That's all you came for. No, there's one other thing. I learned something from this past case. And what's that? Something about you. You're suited for this work after all. That again? Sorry, but I'm done. No more. Just hear me out. There have been more mysterious cases like Masquerade popping up lately. I thought it might be Mark-related, but it seems like I was wrong. He stopped for a moment, then mutters, Yashiki, a monster's parade. Have you heard anything about it? Yago, whatever. Yeah, sure, on ghost stories. But he's going to ask about something that's happening in the real world. No, I haven't. That's so. I figured you of all people. Forget this. I find it weird, the sequel, different protagonists, different story. I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with whatever the Yashiki, whatever the hell. I think the third game might finally acknowledge that, because third game is gonna have Yashiki's protagonist biology bit again, so we might actually, address that finally. First he asks me, then he tells me to forget it. He only cares about his own bottom line. She. Asher glances briefly at the sofa in the corner of the room. Might have known something. Sorry, but I can't. I just don't have the energy. I'm not saying right now. I'm sure Yasuoka will wait until you're 100%. I'm not pushing you either. That's all I wanted to say. No, it isn't. You've got something else to say. No, wait. I have one last bit of advice. Quit doing stuff like that. Like what? You picked up that dead spider, didn't you? You saw it. Just out of the corner of my eye. That's why darkness follows you. Your ancestors probably had pity on the hurt. The living and the dead can't coexist. If you try to accept their feelings, you'll just end up getting cold. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I should just snort derisively, like usual. I think he has the same reaction regardless of what he says.
せいぜいよく考えろ。望まなくても、いずれその時が来る。
He leaves, closing the door behind him. That marks the end of the case and the end of one chapter in my story. But someday in the future, I can't help but think that door will be thrown open again. Because of course, Death Mark. It's like the sequel, he does appear in the sequel in a bad end. And he is referenced throughout by a certain character. And actually more than one character, really. No. It's gonna throw me right back to the start, isn't it? Yep. I mean, this is a really kind of weird way to do a visual novel. With a visual novel, you think, you can, save and stuff like that at any given time. But no, you can only save, load, exit, whatever, at specific points. This is like the equivalent of if you were to read a book and you don't get to like a different chapter, or or what is it called in a novel where there's a scene transition where there's like a gap, like between the next part of the story. It's not like a chapter end, but it's kind of like breaks up the narrative. It's like you focus on one character here and switch to another character, so they have like that space between the text. Like for example, say it's like halfway down the page, the scene ends, and then you've got like place where the text should continue is like further down the page to indicate, okay, different scene now. That's basically what this is like. It's like, yeah, that bit in between is the only point where you can save or exit the game or anything. So it's just like, imagine that in a real book. You're reading a novel, and you're like, you just want to put it down because you want to, go to bed or something like that. It's like, no, you gotta finish the chapter, otherwise you can't save. Next time you pick up the book, you'll try to turn the page, but it's like, no, you can't turn the page, you gotta read the whole thing again. Anyways, hi Mary, you're making a cameo appearance in the final part here. How nice of you to be here, I suppose. Well, I'll have to fast forward for this. I'll meet you at the battle with Red Riding Hood once again. We're gonna get the good ends, and we can finally conclude this Let's Play. So, I'll meet you at that point.